The Easter Bunny doesn't visit bad children, Rachel said, locking the backyard gate. Her kids collected 200 eggs. The twins got 0. At 11 a.m., the twins' older sister's phone buzzed. A live feed from the house Dad's hidden cameras. She saw everything. At noon, a helicopter landed in the backyard. Their father Michael stepped out with golden baskets overflowing with chocolate and toys. "Surprise, my babies!" The twins screamed with joy. Michael looked at Rachel. "I watched the whole thing. Your bags are already packed. The Easter Bunny doesn't visit cruel women either. But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. Now, subscribe to the channel and let's get started. If you tell your daddy, I will send you away forever." Emma Harrison felt her whole body freeze. She was 6 years old and standing in the big kitchen of the mansion in Beverly Hills, California. The woman speaking to her was Rachel, her stepmother. Rachel's face was very close to Emma's face. Rachel's blue eyes looked cold and mean. Emma's twin brother Jacob stood next to her. He was shaking. "Do you understand me?" Rachel whispered. Her voice was quiet but scary. "If you say one word to your father about how I treat you, social services will come. They will take you and Jacob away. You will never see your daddy again. You will go to a foster home with strangers." Emma nodded fast. Tears filled her eyes, but she did not let them fall. Rachel smiled. Then she stood up straight and walked away. Her high heels clicked on the marble floor. Emma looked at Jacob. Jacob looked at Emma. They did not say anything. They did not need to. They both understood. They had to stay quiet. They had to keep the secret. That morning had started like every other morning in the Harrison mansion. Michael Harrison woke up at 5:30 in the morning. He was 38 years old. He was tall with dark brown skin and short black hair. He owned a technology company in downtown Los Angeles. His company made software for hospitals. Michael was very successful. He was also very busy. Michael put on an expensive gray suit and a blue tie. He looked at himself in the mirror. He looked tired. He always looked tired these days. Michael walked down the long hallway of the mansion. The mansion had 12 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms. It had a pool, a garden, and a view of the hills. Michael had bought this house 7 years ago when his company became successful. He walked to the kitchen. Rachel was already there. She was 35 years old with blonde hair and a thin body. She wore a pink dress and makeup, even though it was only 6 o'clock in the morning. Rachel smiled when she saw Michael. "Good morning, honey," Rachel said. Her voice sounded sweet and warm. "I made you coffee." "Thank you," Michael said. He kissed her cheek quickly. He picked up the coffee mug and drank. The coffee was hot and strong. "What time will you be home tonight?" Rachel asked. "Probably 8 or 9, Michael said. "I have 3 meetings and a conference call with our New York office." Rachel nodded. "Don't worry about anything here. I will take care of the children." Michael felt grateful. "Thank you. I don't know what I would do without you." Rachel smiled bigger. "That's what I'm here for." At 6:15, Michael heard small feet running down the stairs. Emma and Jacob ran into the kitchen. Emma had long, curly black hair in 2 braids. Jacob had short, curly hair. They both had big brown eyes and brown skin. They wore matching blue pajamas. "Daddy!" Emma shouted. She ran to Michael and hugged his legs. "Good morning, sweetheart," Michael said. He picked her up and kissed her forehead. "Did you sleep well?" Emma nodded, but she did not smile. Michael noticed Emma used to smile all the time, but lately she was very quiet. Her eyes looked sad. "Hey, buddy," Michael said to Jacob. He put Emma down and hugged Jacob. "How are you?" "Fine," Jacob said. His voice was flat. He did not look at Michael's eyes. Michael felt worried. Something was wrong with his children. He did not know what, but he felt it deep in his chest. They seemed scared. They seemed sad. Michael had asked them many times if everything was okay. They always said yes, but Michael did not believe them. "Sit down, kids," Rachel said. Her voice was cheerful. "I will make you breakfast." Emma and Jacob sat at the big kitchen table. Rachel put 2 plates in front of them. On each plate was a waffle with syrup and strawberries. She put a glass of orange juice next to each plate. "Here you go," Rachel said. She touched Emma's head gently. "Eat up." Michael watched. Rachel seemed like a perfect stepmother. She seemed kind and loving. So why did his children look so unhappy? Michael looked at his watch. It was 6:25. "I have to go," he said. "I'm sorry I can't stay for breakfast." "That's okay, Daddy," Emma said quietly. Michael kissed both twins on the top of their heads. "I love you both. Be good today." "We love you too," Jacob said. Michael grabbed his briefcase and his car keys. He walked to the garage. His black Mercedes was parked inside. He got in the car and started the engine. He looked back at the mansion one more time. Through the kitchen window, he could see Rachel standing with the twins. She was smiling and waving. Michael waved back. Then he drove away. The moment Michael's car disappeared down the driveway, Rachel's smile vanished. Her face changed completely. Her eyes turned cold. Her mouth became a thin, hard line. She turned to Emma and Jacob. "Clear the table," Rachel said. Her voice was sharp and mean. "Now!" Emma and Jacob picked up their plates fast. They had only eaten 3 bites of waffle. Their stomachs were still hungry. But they knew better than to ask for more. Rachel's 2 children came into the kitchen. Brandon and Sophia were both 8 years old. Brandon had blonde hair like his mother. Sophia had blonde hair too. They wore expensive pajamas with designer labels. "Good morning, my babies," Rachel said. Her voice became sweet again. She hugged Brandon and Sophia. "Sit down. I will make you a special breakfast." Brandon and Sophia sat at the table. Rachel made them pancakes with chocolate chips. She made them bacon and scrambled eggs. She put whipped cream on top of the pancakes. She gave them big glasses of fresh orange juice. "Here you go," Rachel said. She kissed both of her children on their heads. "Eat as much as you want." Emma and Jacob stood by the sink washing dishes. They watched Brandon and Sophia eat the big breakfast. Emma's stomach hurt from hunger. Jacob's hands squeezed the plate he was washing. His jaw was tight. He was angry, but he could not show it. "When you finish the dishes, go clean the bathrooms," Rachel said to the twins. She did not look at them. "I want the floors scrubbed and the toilets cleaned." "Yes, ma'am," Emma whispered. Rachel walked out of the kitchen. Her high heels clicked on the floor. Emma looked at Jacob. A single tear rolled down her cheek. "Don't cry," Jacob whispered. "She will get mad." Emma wiped her face fast. That night, Michael came home at 8:30. He was exhausted. The meetings had been long and difficult. All he wanted was to see his children and go to sleep. He walked into the living room. Rachel was sitting on the couch reading a magazine. She looked up and smiled. "Welcome home, honey," she said. "Where are the kids?" Michael asked. "They are in their rooms doing homework," Rachel said. "They already ate dinner." Michael nodded. He walked upstairs. He went to Emma's room first. Emma was sitting on her bed with a book. Her room was nice but small. Michael had given her this room 2 years ago when he married Rachel. Before that, Emma had a bigger room with a balcony. But Rachel said her children needed the bigger rooms because they were older. Michael had agreed. "Hi, sweetheart," Michael said. He sat on the bed next to Emma. "How was your day?" "Fine," Emma said. She did not look up from her book. "Emma, look at me," Michael said gently. Emma looked up. Her eyes were red. Had she been crying? "Are you okay?" Michael asked. "You seem sad. You and Jacob both seem sad. Is something wrong? Is someone being mean to you?" Emma's eyes got wide. She looked scared. She shook her head fast. "No, Daddy. Everything is fine. I'm just tired." Michael did not believe her, but he did not know what else to say. "Okay. If you ever want to talk about anything, I'm here. You know that, right?" "I know," Emma said. Michael kissed her forehead. "I love you." "I love you too, Daddy." Michael went to Jacob's room next. Jacob was lying on his bed staring at the ceiling. His room was small too. It was next to Emma's room. "Hey, buddy," Michael said. Jacob sat up. "Hi, Dad." Michael sat on the edge of the bed. "How was school today?" "Fine." "Just fine?" "Yeah." Michael looked at his son. Jacob looked thin. Had he lost weight? And there was a bruise on Jacob's arm. A purple and yellow bruise. "Jacob, what happened to your arm?" Michael asked. He touched the bruise gently. Jacob pulled his arm away. "I fell. At recess." "Are you sure?" "Yes." Michael felt frustrated. His children were lying to him. He knew they were lying, but he did not know why. He did not know what they were hiding. "Jacob, if something is wrong, you can tell me," Michael said. "I will always protect you. Always." Jacob's eyes filled with tears. For a second, Michael thought Jacob was going to tell him something. But then Jacob looked away. "Nothing is wrong, Dad. I promise." Michael sighed. "Okay, get some sleep. I love you." "Love you too." Michael left Jacob's room and walked back downstairs. Rachel was still on the couch. "Did you talk to them?" Rachel asked. "Yes," Michael said. "Something is wrong, Rachel. They are not happy." Rachel stood up and walked to Michael. She put her hand on his chest. "Honey, you are working too much. You are stressed. The kids are fine. They are just adjusting. Blended families take time." "It has been 2 years," Michael said. "I know. But kids process things slowly. Be patient. I promise they are okay. I take good care of them." Michael wanted to believe her. He wanted to think everything was fine. But his gut told him something different. The next morning, Michael made a phone call. He called a security company in Los Angeles called Safe Home Security. "I want to install cameras in my house," Michael said. "Hidden cameras. Cameras that no one can see." "We can do that, sir," the man on the phone said. "When would you like us to come?" "Tomorrow," Michael said. "My wife takes the kids to the park every Saturday at 10 in the morning. Come then." "Yes, sir." Michael hung up the phone. His heart was beating fast. He felt guilty for not telling Rachel about the cameras. But something was very wrong in his house, and he was going to find out what it was. On Saturday morning, Rachel took all 4 children to the park in Santa Monica. Michael waited exactly 5 minutes after they left. Then he opened the front door. 3 men in blue uniforms stood on the porch. They carried black boxes full of equipment. "Mr. Harrison?" the first man asked. "Yes, come in quickly," Michael said. The men worked fast. They installed tiny cameras in every room. They put cameras in the living room, the kitchen, the dining room, and all the bedrooms. They put cameras in the hallways and the basement. They even put cameras in the garden. The cameras were so small that nobody would notice them. They were hidden in smoke detectors, in picture frames, and in air vents. "You can watch everything from your phone or your computer," the technician explained. He showed Michael an app on his phone. The cameras record 24 hours a day. Everything is saved to a secure cloud server. "Perfect," Michael said. "Send the bill to my office." The men finished in 2 hours. They left before Rachel came home. That night, Michael sat in his office. He closed the door and locked it. He opened his laptop. His hands were shaking. He clicked on the app. 12 small video screens appeared on his computer. Each screen showed a different room in his house. Michael took a deep breath. Then he clicked on the kitchen camera. He scrolled back to that morning, right after he left for work. He pressed play. On the screen, Rachel stood in the kitchen with Emma and Jacob. Her face was angry. She was yelling. Michael could not hear the sound through his laptop speakers, so he put on headphones. Rachel's voice came through loud and clear. "I said clean the table. Are you stupid? Do I have to tell you everything twice?" Emma's small voice answered, "I'm sorry. I will clean it now." "You are so slow," Rachel said. "No wonder your father is never home. He is probably embarrassed by you." Michael's chest felt tight. He watched Rachel grab Emma's arm and pull her toward the sink. Emma's face showed pain. Rachel pushed a dirty plate into Emma's hands. "Wash every dish. If I see one spot, you will not eat lunch. Do you understand?" "Yes, ma'am," Emma whispered. Michael paused the video. His hands were in fists. He wanted to drive home right now. He wanted to grab his children and take them away. But he made himself keep watching. He needed to see everything. He clicked on another video from 3 days ago. This video showed the basement. Jacob was mopping the floor. Rachel stood over him with her arms crossed. "You missed a spot," Rachel said. She pointed at the floor. "Do it again." "I already mopped there," Jacob said. His voice was tired. Rachel's face became red with anger. She grabbed the mop from Jacob's hands. "Don't talk back to me. You are a rude, ungrateful child. Your mother would be ashamed of you." Jacob's eyes filled with tears. "Don't talk about my mom." Rachel leaned down close to Jacob's face. "Your mother is dead. I am your mother now, and you will do what I say." Jacob started crying. Rachel walked away and left him alone in the basement. Jacob sat on the floor and cried into his hands. Michael ripped off his headphones. He stood up and walked to the window. His whole body was shaking. He felt sick. He felt angry. He felt guilty. How long had this been happening? How had he not seen it? For 2 weeks, Michael watched the cameras every night. Every video made him more angry and more heartbroken. He watched Rachel lock Emma and Jacob outside in the cold evening, while Brandon and Sophia watched movies inside. He watched Rachel give his children plain rice with no butter or salt, while she gave her children pizza and ice cream. He watched Rachel make Emma scrub the bathroom with a toothbrush. He watched Rachel pull Jacob's ear and call him names. One night, Michael could not take it anymore. He called his best friend, David Chen. David was a lawyer. They had been friends since college. David lived in Pasadena with his wife and 3 kids. "David, I need to see you. Tomorrow morning. It's urgent," Michael said. "What's wrong?" David asked. He sounded concerned. "I can't talk about it on the phone. Can you meet me at your office at 7 in the morning?" "Of course, I'll be there." The next morning, Michael drove to David's law office in Pasadena. The office was in a tall glass building downtown. Michael took the elevator to the 10th floor. David was waiting in his office. He wore a suit and glasses. He looked worried. "Michael, what's going on?" David asked. "You look terrible." Michael sat down. He opened his laptop. "I need you to watch something, but I have to warn you, it's bad." David sat next to Michael. Michael played 6 different videos. He played the video of Rachel yelling at Emma. He played the video of Rachel grabbing Jacob. He played the video of Rachel locking the twins outside. He played the video of Rachel feeding them scraps. David watched in silence. His face became more and more angry. When the videos ended, David took off his glasses and rubbed his eyes. "Michael, this is abuse. This is clear emotional and physical abuse." "I know," Michael said. His voice cracked. I should have seen it. I should have known. Don't blame yourself right now, David said. We need to focus on protecting those kids. How long have you been recording? 2 weeks. Good. That's good evidence. But you need more. Michael looked at David with surprise. More? Isn't this enough? I want to go home right now and throw her out. David held up his hand. I understand, but listen to me. If you confront her now, she could claim you are making this up. She could say you edited the videos. She could fight you in court. You need at least another week of evidence. You need to show a clear pattern of abuse. Then no judge will question it. Another week? Michael's voice was loud. My children are suffering. I know, but one more week of evidence means you get full custody. It means she has no legal ground to stand on. It means your children are protected forever. Can you wait one more week? Michael put his head in his hands. Every cell in his body wanted to act now. But David was right. He needed to be smart. He needed to protect his children completely. Okay, Michael said. One more week. But that's it. One more week, David agreed. Record everything. Document every incident with dates and times. Save everything. Then we file for divorce and full custody. Michael went home that night. Sitting at the dinner table was the hardest thing he had ever done. He looked at Rachel's face. She was smiling and talking about her day. She asked him about work. She seemed like a normal, kind person. But Michael knew the truth now. He knew who she really was. He felt disgusted. He could barely look at her. Are you okay, honey? Rachel asked. You seem quiet. I'm fine, Michael said. His voice was cold, just tired. Emma and Jacob sat across the table. They ate their small portions of food quietly. They did not look up. Michael wanted to scream. He wanted to grab them and tell them everything would be okay. But he stayed quiet. He waited. On Wednesday night, Rachel made an announcement at dinner. She was very excited. Easter Sunday is coming, Rachel said. Her voice was high and happy. I am going to plan the most amazing Easter egg hunt for the children. Brandon and Sophia cheered. Yes, can we invite our friends? Sophia asked. Of course, Rachel said. We will invite all your friends from school. Michael looked at Rachel carefully. For all the children, right? For all 4 children? Rachel smiled at Michael. Of course, for all 4 children. It will be so much fun. But Michael saw something in her eyes, something cold and mean. He did not believe her. Not for 1 second. That night, Michael sat in his office. He made sure all the cameras were working perfectly. He checked every angle. He checked the garden cameras especially. If Rachel was planning something, he would see it. He would record it. Michael called David on his phone. David answered on the second ring. How are you holding up? David asked. She is planning an Easter egg hunt, Michael said, this Sunday. She says it's for all 4 kids, but I don't believe her. What do you think she'll do? I think she'll exclude Emma and Jacob. I think she'll humiliate them in front of other children. And when she does, I will have video proof of it. David was quiet for a moment. Then he said, if she does what you think she'll do, that video will be very powerful evidence. I know. Do you want me to have the divorce papers ready? Yes, Michael said. His voice was firm and strong. Have them ready. Have everything ready. Okay? I'll prepare everything. Michael looked at his computer screen. He could see Emma and Jacob in their small rooms. They were getting ready for bed. They looked so small and so sad. Easter is in 3 days, Michael said into the phone. If she does what I think she'll do, that's when I end this. The next morning, Rachel woke up early. She was very excited. She had a plan for Easter Sunday, and she wanted everything to be perfect. She got dressed in designer jeans and a white blouse. She put on her makeup and her expensive sunglasses. Then she grabbed her purse and her car keys. "I'm going shopping," Rachel called out. "I'll be back this afternoon." Michael was in his home office. He heard Rachel's car drive away. He immediately opened the camera app on his phone. He wanted to see what Rachel would do when she came back. Rachel drove to Beverly Hills. She went to a large party supply store on Wilshire Boulevard. She pushed a shopping cart through the aisles. She grabbed bags of colorful plastic Easter eggs. She took 10 bags. Each bag had 20 eggs. Rachel counted in her head. 200 eggs total. Perfect. Next, she went to the candy aisle. She filled her cart with chocolate bunnies, jelly beans, gummy bears, and expensive European chocolates. She grabbed small toys too. Little cars, bouncy balls, stickers, and tiny stuffed animals. Her cart was overflowing. Then Rachel went to a different store in Santa Monica. This store sold party decorations. Rachel bought pastel pink and blue balloons. She bought silk ribbons, paper flowers, and an enormous inflatable Easter bunny that was 6 feet tall. She spent 45 minutes picking out the perfect decorations. Everything had to look beautiful for the photos. Rachel's last stop was the bank. She walked up to the counter. "I need $20 bills," Rachel told the bank teller. "I need 100 of them, and I need rolls of quarters." The teller looked surprised, but nodded. "Of course, ma'am. One moment, please." The teller came back with stacks of $20 bills and 10 rolls of quarters. Rachel put everything in her purse. She smiled. This Easter egg hunt would be legendary. Everyone would see her photos on Instagram and Facebook. Everyone would think she was an amazing mother. Rachel drove home. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. She carried all her shopping bags into the kitchen. Brandon and Sophia ran to her immediately. "Mom, what did you buy?" Brandon asked. His eyes were wide. "Supplies for the Easter egg hunt," Rachel said. She dumped the bags on the kitchen table. "Come help me fill the eggs." Brandon and Sophia sat at the table. Rachel opened the plastic eggs. She started filling them with candy, coins, and toys. Some of the eggs she filled with $20 bills. She folded the bills and stuffed them inside. "Wow, there's money in these?" Sophia asked. "Yes, baby," Rachel said. "The kids who find these eggs will be so lucky." Emma and Jacob walked into the kitchen. They had just come home from school. They saw the table covered with Easter eggs and candy. Emma's face lit up. "Can we help?" Emma asked. Her voice was hopeful. Rachel did not even look at her. "No, you'll just mess it up." Emma's smile disappeared. Jacob clenched his fists, but said nothing. They walked out of the kitchen quietly. For the next 2 hours, Rachel and her children filled 200 Easter eggs. Brandon and Sophia laughed and talked. They were so excited. Rachel kissed their heads and hugged them. "This is going to be the best Easter ever," Rachel said. That evening, Rachel made phone calls. She called 8 families. These were parents of children in Brandon and Sophia's private school in Santa Monica. The school was expensive. Most of the families were wealthy. "Hi, Jennifer. This is Rachel Harrison," Rachel said into the phone. Her voice was sweet and cheerful. "I'm hosting an Easter egg hunt at my home this Sunday at 10 in the morning. I would love for Madison to come. We'll have games, prizes, and a professional photographer." One by one, Rachel invited 8 children. All of them said yes. Rachel smiled. Her Easter party was coming together perfectly. Michael came home from work at 7 o'clock. He walked into the kitchen. Rachel was cooking dinner. The table was still covered with plastic eggs. "What's all this?" Michael asked. "Easter egg hunt supplies," Rachel said. She was smiling big. "I invited some friends for Brandon and Sophia. It's going to be so fun." Michael looked at the eggs. "Did you invite any of Emma and Jacob's friends?" Rachel did not look at Michael. She stirred the pot on the stove. "Oh, honey, I called a few parents, but everyone already had plans. You know how Easter weekend is. Everyone is busy." Michael did not believe her. "So Emma and Jacob's friends can't come, but Brandon and Sophia's friends can?" Rachel turned around. She smiled at Michael, but her eyes were cold. "It just worked out that way. Don't worry. Emma and Jacob will still have fun. There will be plenty of eggs for everyone." Michael stared at her. He wanted to call her a liar. He wanted to expose her right now. But he stayed calm. He just nodded. "Okay." On Saturday morning, Rachel woke up at 6 o'clock. She was too excited to sleep. Today, she would set up everything. She got dressed and went to the backyard. The backyard was huge. It had 2 sections. The west garden was beautiful. It had rose bushes, a marble fountain, and a white gazebo. The west garden was where they had parties and took photos. The east yard was smaller. It just had some grass and 1 tree. Nobody used the east yard very much. Rachel spent 3 hours decorating the west garden. She hung the balloons from tree branches. She tied silk ribbons around the gazebo. She set up the giant inflatable Easter bunny near the fountain. She arranged flower pots and pastel signs that said, "Happy Easter" and "Egg Hunt this way." Everything looked perfect. Then Rachel started hiding the eggs. She carried a large basket filled with 200 plastic eggs. She walked through the west garden carefully. She hid eggs under rose bushes. She put eggs behind the fountain. She tucked eggs inside the gazebo. She placed eggs near the garden decorations. She counted every single egg as she hid it. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 200. Every egg was in the west garden. When Rachel finished, she stood back and looked at her work. The west garden looked magical. Any child would be so happy to hunt for eggs here. Then Rachel walked to the east yard. She looked around. Just grass and a tree. Nothing else. Rachel smiled. She did not hide a single egg in the east yard. Not one. Rachel walked back to the west garden entrance. There was an opening in the fence. Rachel had bought something special for this. She pulled out a tall iron gate from her car. It took her 30 minutes to install it. She screwed the hinges into the wooden fence posts. When she finished, the gate stood tall and strong. It blocked the entrance to the west garden completely. Rachel pulled out a lock and a key. She tested the lock. It worked perfectly. She could lock the west garden and keep people out. Rachel put the key in her pocket. She smiled. At lunchtime, Michael was in his home office. He was watching the camera feed on his phone. He watched Rachel decorate the west garden. He watched her hide all 200 eggs. Then he watched her install the gate and the lock. His jaw became tight. His hands formed fists. He knew exactly what Rachel was planning. On Saturday evening, Rachel called Emma and Jacob into the living room. Michael was still at his office downtown, but he was watching on his phone through the living room camera. He had his headphones on so he could hear everything. Rachel sat on the couch. Emma and Jacob stood in front of her. They looked nervous. "Tomorrow is Easter," Rachel said. Her voice was sweet and fake. "We are having an Easter egg hunt. Brandon and Sophia's friends are coming. It's going to be very exciting." "Can we hunt for eggs too?" Emma asked. Her voice was small and hopeful. "Of course," Rachel said. She smiled, but the smile did not reach her eyes. "But you two need to stay in the east yard. The west garden is for the older children. Brandon and Sophia and their friends will hunt there. You two are too young for that area. Do you understand?" Jacob stepped forward. His face showed confusion. "But why? We're not that much younger. We're only 2 years younger." Rachel's smile disappeared. Her voice became sharp. "Because I said so. The west garden is for the guests. You two will hunt in the east yard. But that's not fair. Jacob's voice was loud now. He was angry. Why do they get the big garden, and we get the small yard? Rachel stood up fast. She walked close to Jacob. She leaned down so her face was near his face. She whispered, but the camera microphone picked up every word. Life isn't fair, Jacob. Get used to it. You two will stay in the east yard. If I see you try to come into the west garden, there will be big trouble. Do you understand me? Emma started crying quietly. Jacob's eyes filled with tears, but he did not let them fall. Do you understand me? Rachel repeated. Her voice was hard and mean. Yes, Jacob whispered. Yes, what? Yes, ma'am. Good. Now go to your rooms. Emma and Jacob walked away quickly. Rachel sat back down on the couch. She picked up her phone and started scrolling through Instagram. She smiled. Michael was sitting in his office building downtown. He ripped his headphones off. He stood up and paced back and forth. His heart was beating fast. His whole body felt hot with anger. He grabbed his phone and texted David. Tomorrow, get the divorce papers ready. Get everything ready. David texted back immediately. Papers are ready. Just waiting for your call. Michael sat back down at his desk. He opened his contacts on his phone. He scrolled down to a name. Elite Helicopter Services. Michael had used this company once before for a business emergency. They were fast and professional. Michael looked at his computer screen. He could see Emma in her small room. She was lying on her bed, crying into her pillow. He could see Jacob in his room. Jacob was punching his pillow over and over, with angry tears running down his face. Michael made his decision. Tomorrow, everything would change. Easter Sunday morning came. The sun rose over Beverly Hills at 6:30. The sky was bright blue, with no clouds. It was a beautiful day. Rachel woke up at 6 o'clock. She had set 3 alarms to make sure she did not sleep late. Today was the big day. Everything had to be perfect. She jumped out of bed and went to her bathroom. She took a long shower. She washed her hair with expensive shampoo. She dried her hair and styled it in loose curls. She put on her makeup carefully. Foundation, blush, eyeshadow, mascara, lipstick, everything perfect. Rachel opened her closet. She had bought a new dress just for today. It was white with small pink flowers. It cost $350. Rachel put it on and looked in the mirror. She looked beautiful. She put on white high heels. She put on her diamond earrings. Perfect. Rachel walked down the hall to Brandon and Sophia's bedrooms. She opened Brandon's door first. Brandon was still sleeping. His room was huge with a balcony that faced the ocean. He had a big bed, a television, and shelves full of toys and video games. "Wake up, sweetie," Rachel said softly. She kissed Brandon's forehead. "It's Easter. Time to get ready for the party." Brandon opened his eyes and smiled. "Is it time for the egg hunt?" "Almost. Get up and get dressed. I laid out your clothes on the chair." Rachel had bought Brandon a new outfit yesterday. A light blue button-up shirt and khaki pants. The outfit cost $120. Brandon got dressed quickly. He looked handsome. Rachel went to Sophia's room next. Sophia's room was just as big as Brandon's. She had a canopy bed with pink curtains. Her walls were covered with posters of pop stars. "Good morning, Princess," Rachel said. "Time to get ready." Sophia sat up and rubbed her eyes. "I'm so excited, Mom." "I know, baby. Put on your dress, the pink one I bought you." Sophia's new dress was pink with white lace. It had cost $140. Sophia put it on and twirled around. The dress spun out like a flower. "You look beautiful," Rachel said. She hugged Sophia tight. Then Rachel walked to the basement stairs. Her high heels clicked on the floor. She walked down the stairs to the basement. Emma and Jacob's rooms were down here. The basement was cold and dark. There were no windows. The rooms were small. Rachel opened Emma's door without knocking. Emma was already awake. She was sitting on her small bed. Her room had an old bed, a small dresser, and nothing else. No toys, no decorations, just gray walls. Rachel threw a pile of clothes on Emma's bed. "Put these on. Be upstairs in 10 minutes." The clothes were old and wrinkled. A faded yellow shirt with a stain on the front. Pants that were too short and had a rip in the knee. The clothes came from a thrift store. Rachel had paid $3 for them. Rachel went to Jacob's room next. Jacob was awake too. He was sitting on his bed with his arms crossed. His room was the same as Emma's, small and cold and empty. Rachel threw clothes at Jacob. "Get dressed. 10 minutes." The clothes for Jacob were just as bad. A gray shirt that was too big. Shorts that did not match and had a hole in the pocket. Jacob looked at the clothes, but did not move. "I said get dressed," Rachel snapped. Then she walked out and slammed the door. Emma and Jacob got dressed slowly. The clothes did not fit right. They looked messy and poor. Emma looked at herself in the small mirror on her dresser. She felt ugly. She felt ashamed. Jacob looked at his reflection too. He felt angry. Upstairs, Rachel was making breakfast. She made blueberry pancakes with whipped cream and syrup. She made crispy bacon and scrambled eggs with cheese. She made fresh orange juice. She put it all on nice plates and set them on the table. "Come eat, my loves," Rachel called out. Brandon and Sophia ran to the table. They sat down and started eating. The food was delicious. They ate big bites and smiled. Emma and Jacob came upstairs. They stood by the kitchen door. Rachel looked at them. She wrinkled her nose. "You two look messy," Rachel said. "Whatever. Sit over there." She pointed to 2 chairs at the end of the table, far away from Brandon and Sophia. Emma and Jacob sat down. Rachel put 2 pieces of dry toast on paper plates. No butter, no jam, nothing, just dry toast. She put the plates in front of the twins. "Eat fast," Rachel said. "We have a lot to do today." Emma picked up the toast. It was hard and tasteless. She chewed slowly. Her stomach was hungry, but the toast was difficult to swallow. Jacob ate his toast quickly. He did not taste it. He just wanted it to be over. At 9 o'clock in the morning, cars started arriving. Rachel ran to the front door. She opened it with a big smile. A woman and a little girl stood on the porch. "Jennifer! Madison! Welcome!" Rachel said. She hugged them. "Come in, come in." Madison was 8 years old, with blonde hair in braids. She wore a pretty purple dress. She carried a basket for collecting eggs. "The backyard is this way," Rachel said. She led them through the house. More cars arrived. More children came. Tyler, Emma Grace, Christopher, Olivia, Ethan, Kayla, and Noah. 8 children total. All of them were 8 or 9 years old. All of them went to the same private school as Brandon and Sophia in Santa Monica. All of them wore nice clothes and carried baskets. A man with a camera arrived too. He was the professional photographer Rachel had hired. His name was Robert. He worked for a photography company in Los Angeles. Rachel was paying him $400 for 2 hours. "Take lots of pictures," Rachel told him. "I want this to look amazing." "Yes, ma'am," Robert said. He started taking pictures of the decorations. Rachel posed with Brandon and Sophia in front of the big inflatable Easter bunny, and she smiled wide. She put her arms around her children. Robert took picture after picture. Click, click, click. "Can Emma and Jacob be in the picture too?" Brandon asked. Rachel's smile stayed on her face, but her eyes became cold. "Not right now, honey. Just you and Sophia. We'll do a different picture later." But later never came. Rachel did not take any pictures with Emma and Jacob. She pushed them to the side whenever Robert pointed his camera. At exactly 10 o'clock in the morning, Rachel clapped her hands loud. "Okay, everyone, it's time for the Easter egg hunt." All the children cheered. They jumped up and down with excitement. They held their baskets tight. Rachel walked to the west garden. She stood in front of the tall iron gate. She pulled the key from her pocket and unlocked it. The gate swung open. Inside, the west garden looked beautiful. Balloons floated in the breeze. The gazebo sparkled white in the sun. Colorful plastic eggs were everywhere. "All the eggs are hidden in the west garden," Rachel announced. "On your marks, get set, go!" Brandon, Sophia, and the 8 guests ran into the west garden, screaming. They were so happy. They started grabbing eggs immediately. They filled their baskets fast. Emma and Jacob ran toward the gate too. They wanted to join the hunt, but Rachel stepped in front of them. She blocked their way with her body. "Not you two," Rachel said loudly. She wanted the other parents who were watching to hear. "Emma and Jacob, you two hunt in the east yard." Then Rachel leaned down close. She whispered in Emma's ear, "Stay out of the west garden. You are not welcome there." Rachel stepped into the west garden. She pulled the gate closed behind her. She locked it with the key. Click. The sound was loud and final. Emma stared at the locked gate. Her eyes filled with tears. Jacob's hands became fists. He wanted to scream. He wanted to bang on the gate. But he did not. He just stood there. "Come on, Emma," Jacob said quietly. "Let's go to the east yard." They walked slowly to the east yard. It was just grass and one tree. No decorations, no balloons, nothing. Emma and Jacob started searching. They looked under the tree. They looked in the grass. They walked around the entire yard. They searched for 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, then 15 minutes. They found nothing, not one single egg. "There's nothing here," Jacob said. His voice was flat and tired. Emma sat down in the grass. Tears ran down her cheeks. "Why does she hate us so much? What did we do wrong?" Jacob sat next to his sister. He did not know what to say. He did not have an answer. In the west garden, the other children were laughing and screaming. They found eggs everywhere. Their baskets were overflowing. They opened the eggs and found candy, toys, coins, and $20 bills. They shouted with joy. Rachel smiled and took pictures. She posted them on Instagram immediately. She wrote, "Blessed to have such a beautiful family. Happy Easter to everyone. #Easter egg hunt. #family. Love #blessed." Emma walked to the iron gate. She wrapped her small hands around the bars. She looked through the gate at the west garden. She saw children running and laughing. She saw their baskets full of eggs. She saw Rachel taking pictures and smiling. Jacob walked to the gate, too. He gripped the iron bars tight. His jaw was clenched. His eyes burned with tears he would not let fall. "Please, Daddy," Jacob whispered. His voice was so quiet that only Emma could hear. "Please, come home." At that exact moment, Michael Harrison was sitting in his office in downtown Los Angeles. His office was on the 15th floor of a tall glass building. The office had a big desk, leather chairs, and windows that looked out over the city. But Michael was not looking at the view. He was looking at his phone. Michael had the camera app open. He was watching the live feed from his backyard. He had his headphones on. He could see everything. He could hear everything. He watched Rachel unlock the west garden gate and let the children run inside. He watched Emma and Jacob try to follow. He watched Rachel block them and whisper something cruel in Emma's ear. He watched Rachel lock the gate. He watched his children walk to the empty east yard. He watched them search for eggs that were not there. He watched Emma sit in the grass and cry. He watched Jacob grip the iron bars of the gate with tears in his eyes. Something inside Michael broke. Not broke like it had been breaking for weeks. This was different. This was final, like a dam that had been cracking and finally exploded. Michael felt white-hot anger flood through his body. His hands were shaking. His jaw was clenched so tight it hurt. "Enough," Michael said out loud. His voice was hard and cold. "I have seen enough." Michael stood up. He grabbed his car keys. Then he made 3 phone calls. First, he called David Chen. David answered on the first ring. "Michael?" "Draw up the divorce papers right now," Michael said. His voice was calm but full of steel. "Today, right now. I want her out of my house by tonight." "What happened?" David asked. "She locked my children out of the Easter egg hunt. She gave them nothing. She humiliated them in front of other kids. I watched the whole thing live. I have it all on video. I'm done waiting." "Okay," David said. "The papers are ready. I just need to print them and sign them. I can have them to you in 2 hours." "Perfect." Michael hung up. He made his second call. This call was to his assistant, Jennifer. Jennifer had worked for Michael for 5 years. She was loyal and efficient. She answered immediately. "Mr. Harrison, is everything okay?" "Jennifer, I need you to go to my house right now, today. This minute." "Okay. What do you need?" "Pack all of Rachel's belongings. Everything that belongs to her. Her clothes, her shoes, her makeup, everything. Put it all in the guest house. Do it now." Jennifer paused. Then she said, "Yes, sir. I'm on my way." "Thank you, Jennifer." Michael hung up. He made his third call. He scrolled through his contacts and found Elite Helicopter Services. He had used them once before for an emergency business trip. A man answered the phone. "Elite Helicopter Services. This is Mark speaking." "This is Michael Harrison. I need a helicopter to fly to my house in Beverly Hills. I need it in 30 minutes. 30 minutes? Sir, we usually need at least 2 hours' notice. I will pay double, triple, whatever it costs. I need it in 30 minutes. Mark paused. "Let me check. What's your address?" Michael gave him the address. He heard typing on a computer. "Okay, Mr. Harrison, we can have a helicopter ready at Van Nuys Airport in 20 minutes. Can you get there?" "Yes, I'm leaving now." "The cost will be $2,000 for the rush service plus the flight fee." "I don't care about the cost. Have it ready." "Yes, sir." Michael hung up. He grabbed his jacket and ran out of his office. His secretary looked up in surprise. "Mr. Harrison, your 2 o'clock meeting? Cancel it. Cancel everything today. Family emergency." Michael ran to the elevator. He pressed the button over and over. When the elevator doors finally opened, he jumped inside. The ride down to the parking garage felt like it took forever. Michael's heart was pounding. His hands were still shaking. Finally, the elevator doors opened. Michael ran to his black Mercedes. He got in and started the engine. But he did not drive toward Van Nuys Airport. Not yet. First, he had one more stop. Michael drove fast through the streets of Los Angeles. He drove to Burbank. There was a huge Toys R Us store on San Fernando Boulevard. Michael parked in the front and ran inside. The store was crowded with families shopping for Easter. Michael did not care. He grabbed a shopping cart and started running through the aisles. First, he went to the video game section. He grabbed 2 PlayStation 5 consoles. They were $499 each. He put them in the cart. He grabbed tablets, 2 iPad Pros, $799 each, into the cart. He ran to the toy aisle. He grabbed Lego sets, big ones, Star Wars, Harry Potter, city sets. He did not look at the prices. He just grabbed them. He grabbed remote control cars. He grabbed baby dolls with accessories. He grabbed stuffed animals, bears, dogs, unicorns. He grabbed board games. He grabbed art supplies, paint sets, colored pencils, sketchbooks. Michael's cart was overflowing. He ran to the front of the store and grabbed a second cart. He went to the candy aisle. He grabbed every chocolate bunny he could find. Bags of jelly beans, bags of gummy bears, chocolate eggs, candy necklaces, everything. At the front of the store, Michael saw 2 large golden baskets. They were on display for Easter. Each basket was made of woven gold wire. They were huge, big enough to hold dozens of items. "I'll take both of those baskets," Michael told an employee. The employee took the baskets down and added them to Michael's pile. Michael started loading the baskets right there in the store. He filled them with the PlayStations, the iPads, the Legos, the dolls, the stuffed animals, the candy. Everything. Both baskets were overflowing. Toys and candy spilled over the edges. Michael pushed both carts to the register. The cashier's eyes went wide when she saw everything. "Big Easter celebration?" she asked. "You could say that," Michael said. She started scanning items. The numbers on the register kept climbing. $2,000, $4,000, $6,000, $8,000, $10,000. "Your total is $10,347, the cashier said. She looked shocked. Michael pulled out his credit card and handed it to her. He did not blink. He did not hesitate. The cashier swiped the card. The payment went through. "Would you like help loading your car?" she asked. "No time. I'll manage." Michael pushed both carts out to his car. He loaded the 2 golden baskets into his back seat. They barely fit. He had to push and rearrange them. Then Michael drove to the bank across the street. He parked and ran inside. He went straight to the counter. "I need cash," Michael told the teller. "I need 100 $100 bills." The teller looked surprised, but nodded. "One moment, sir." She went to the back and returned with stacks of $100 bills. Michael took the money. He went back to his car. He pulled out 10 envelopes from his glove compartment. He put $500 in each envelope, 5 $100 bills in each one. He put 5 envelopes in each golden basket, tucked between the toys and candy. Michael looked at his watch. It was 10:45 in the morning. He started the car and drove fast toward Van Nuys Airport. Van Nuys Airport was 20 minutes away. Michael drove faster than he should. He ran 2 yellow lights. He did not care. When he pulled into the airport, he drove straight to the private helicopter area. A man in a blue uniform was waiting. "Mr. Harrison?" "Yes." "Your helicopter is ready. Right this way." Michael opened his back door and pulled out the 2 enormous golden baskets. They were heavy. He carried one in each arm. The man led him across the tarmac to a sleek black helicopter. The blades were already spinning. "Where are we headed, sir?" the pilot asked. He was a man in his 40s with gray hair. "Beverly Hills. I'll give you the exact address." Michael gave him the address of his mansion. "Got it. Let's go." Michael climbed into the helicopter with the 2 baskets. He put on the headset. The pilot increased the throttle. The helicopter lifted off the ground. Michael's stomach dropped as they rose into the air. The city spread out below them. The helicopter flew south over Los Angeles. Michael looked down at the traffic on the freeways. All those cars stuck in traffic. Michael was glad he was not down there. The helicopter was fast. It flew over the hills toward Beverly Hills. Michael looked at the 2 golden baskets next to him. They were overflowing with gifts, with love, with everything his children deserved. His eyes filled with tears. He blinked them away. "Are you okay, sir?" the pilot asked through the headset. "I will be," Michael said. "I'm fixing a big mistake." After 15 minutes, the pilot said, "We're approaching your address now." Michael looked down. He could see his mansion. He could see the backyard. He could see the west garden full of children running around. He could see the east yard. He could see 2 small figures sitting under a tree. Emma and Jacob. "Land in the center of the backyard," Michael said. "Make it loud." The pilot grinned. "You got it, sir." The helicopter descended fast. The engine noise became deafening. The blades whipped the air. The wind from the blades bent the trees and sent leaves flying. Down below, everyone stopped. Children dropped their Easter eggs. Rachel's mouth fell open. The photographer pointed his camera at the sky. Emma and Jacob looked up with wide eyes. The helicopter landed with a heavy thump on the grass. The door opened. Michael stepped out carrying the 2 giant golden baskets. The sun was bright. The wind from the blades blew his jacket. Emma screamed. "Daddy!" Jacob yelled. "Dad!" They ran toward him as fast as their legs could move. Emma reached her father first. She crashed into his legs and wrapped her arms around him. Jacob was right behind her. He grabbed Michael's waist and held on tight. Michael dropped to his knees on the grass. He put down the golden baskets. He wrapped his arms around both of his children and pulled them close. "I'm here," Michael whispered. "I'm here now." Emma was crying hard. Her whole body shook. Jacob was crying too. Tears ran down his face. Michael felt his own tears fall. He did not try to stop them. He held his children as tight as he could. "I am so sorry," Michael said. His voice cracked. "I am sorry I was not here. I am sorry I let this happen to you. But I see everything now. I know everything. And everything changes today. Right now." "Daddy, we tried to be good," Emma sobbed. "We tried so hard. But she hates us. She's so mean to us." "I know, baby. I know. It's not your fault. None of this is your fault. You are perfect. Both of you are perfect." Jacob pulled back and looked at his father's face. "You really know? You know what she does to us?" "I know everything," Michael said. He wiped Jacob's tears with his thumb. "I installed cameras in the house. I watched. I recorded everything. I saw how she treated you. I saw all of it." Jacob's eyes went wide. "You did?" "Yes. And I should have done it sooner. I should have protected you sooner. But I'm here now, and she will never hurt you again. I promise." Emma hugged her father again. "I thought you didn't love us anymore. I thought you liked Brandon and Sophia more than us." Michael's heart shattered. He pulled Emma's face up so she could look at him. "Emma, listen to me. I love you more than anything in the world. You and Jacob are my everything. I made a terrible mistake by not being here. I will spend the rest of my life making it up to you." Michael stood up. He picked up the 2 golden baskets. They were so big and so full that he could barely carry them both. He handed one basket to Emma and one basket to Jacob. "These are for you," Michael said. "Open them." Emma and Jacob looked inside the baskets. Their eyes grew huge. Inside were toys and candy and games, PlayStations, iPads, Lego sets, dolls, stuffed animals, remote control cars, chocolate bunnies, bags of candy, and envelopes. Emma pulled out one of the envelopes. She opened it. Inside were 5 $100 bills. "Is this real money?" Emma whispered. "Yes," Michael said. "All of it is for you. You deserve this and so much more." Jacob looked up at his father. For the first time in months, Jacob smiled. A real, genuine smile. Emma smiled too. Her whole face lit up. They laughed. They actually laughed. "Thank you, Daddy," Emma said. "Thank you so much." "Thank you, Dad," Jacob said. He hugged the basket to his chest. Michael's face changed. The softness disappeared. His expression became hard and cold. He looked across the backyard. Rachel was standing near the west garden gate. Her face was white as paper. Her mouth was open. She looked frozen. Michael walked toward her slowly. His footsteps were heavy and deliberate. Every eye in the backyard watched him. The children stopped playing. The photographer stopped taking pictures. Everyone was silent, except for the sound of the helicopter blades slowing down behind them. Rachel tried to smile. Her hands were shaking. "Michael, honey, what a surprise. I didn't know you were coming home. This is so—" "Stop talking," Michael said. His voice was quiet but sharp as a knife. Rachel's smile disappeared. "What?" Michael stopped 3 feet in front of her. He looked directly into her eyes. "I installed hidden cameras in every room of this house 3 weeks ago. I have been watching you for 3 weeks. I recorded everything you did to my children. Everything." Rachel's face lost all remaining color. She opened her mouth, but no sound came out. "I have videos of you screaming at them," Michael continued. His voice was calm and cold. "I have videos of you starving them while you feed your children steak and pizza. I have videos of you making them clean toilets with toothbrushes. I have videos of you locking them outside in the cold. I have videos of you grabbing them and shaking them. I have videos of you threatening them. And I have video from today. You locking them out of this Easter egg hunt. You giving them nothing while you gave everyone else everything." Rachel started crying. Tears ran down her face, ruining her makeup. "Michael, please, you don't understand. They were difficult. They didn't listen. I tried my best. Michael held up his hand. "Stop. I do not want to hear your excuses. I do not want to hear your lies. I watched the videos. I saw the truth with my own eyes. But I said stop talking." Rachel closed her mouth. She was shaking. "My assistant is at the house right now," Michael said. "She is packing all of your belongings. Everything is being moved to the guest house. My lawyer has divorce papers ready. You have 1 hour to take your children and leave my property. 1 hour." "Michael, no. Please. We can work this out. We can go to counseling. I'll change. I promise. You had 2 years to change," Michael said. His voice became louder. "You had 2 years to be kind to my children. You chose to be cruel instead. You looked me in the eyes every single day and lied to me. You smiled at me while you tortured my children. There is no coming back from that. There is no second chance." Rachel grabbed Michael's arm. "Please. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't do this. Think about what this will do to our family. Think about Brandon and Sophia." Michael pulled his arm away. "If you try to fight me in court, I will show the videos to everyone. I will show them to the judge. I will show them to your friends. I will show them to your family. I will post them on social media. Everyone will know exactly who you are and what you did. Do you understand me?" Rachel's crying became harder. She put her hands over her face. "This isn't fair. You can't do this to me." "Fair?" Michael's voice became louder. "You want to talk about fair? Was it fair when you locked my 6-year-old children out of an Easter egg hunt? Was it fair when you called them names and told them they were bad? Was it fair when you threatened to send them to foster care if they told me the truth? Do not talk to me about fair." Rachel looked around. All the children were staring. The parents who had stayed to watch were staring. The photographer was staring. Rachel's perfect image was destroyed. Everyone had heard everything. "Take your children and leave," Michael said. "You have 1 hour. If you are still here after 1 hour, I will call the police and have you removed." At that moment, Jennifer, Michael's assistant, came out of the house. Jennifer was a tall woman in her 30s with dark hair pulled back in a ponytail. She walked quickly to Michael. "Mr. Harrison, all of her belongings are packed and moved to the guest house," Jennifer said. "Thank you, Jennifer," Michael said. Rachel let out a sob. She turned and ran toward the house. She ran inside. A few moments later, she came back out pulling Brandon and Sophia by their hands. Brandon looked confused. Sophia was crying. "Mom, what's happening?" Brandon asked. "Why are we leaving?" Rachel did not answer. She just pulled them toward the front of the house. Her high heels clicked fast on the walkway. She was still crying. Her makeup was smeared down her face. "Mom," Sophia cried, "I don't want to leave. What about my room? What about my toys?" "We'll come back for them," Rachel said, but her voice was shaking. She knew that was a lie. They disappeared around the side of the house. A minute later, Michael heard a car engine start. He heard tires on the gravel driveway. Then the sound faded away. Rachel was gone. The backyard was completely silent. All the children stood frozen. The photographer held his camera, but did not take pictures. Nobody knew what to say or do. Michael turned to the guests. He tried to smile. "I'm sorry you all had to see that. Thank you for coming. The egg hunt is over. Please, take your eggs and your baskets home." The parents, who were still there, quickly gathered their children. They grabbed their baskets and walked quickly to the front of the house. Within 5 minutes, everyone was gone except Michael, Emma, and Jacob. The photographer left too, without saying a word. Michael walked back to his children. Emma and Jacob were standing exactly where he had left them. They were still holding their golden baskets. They looked shocked. They looked confused. But they also looked relieved. Michael knelt down in front of them again. He put his hands on their shoulders. "Are you two okay?" Emma nodded slowly. "Is she really gone?" "Yes, she's really gone." "Is she coming back?" Jacob asked. His voice was quiet and scared. "No, she is never coming back. I promise you." Jacob's eyes filled with tears again. But this time, they were different tears. They were tears of relief. "We're safe now?" Michael pulled both children into another hug. He held them tight. "You are safe. You are loved. And I am never leaving you again. Never." Emma whispered into her father's chest. "I love you, Daddy." "I love you too, sweetheart." "I love you, Dad," Jacob said. "I love you more than anything in the world." Michael lifted Emma and Jacob into his arms. Even though they were 6 years old and getting big, he carried them both. He carried them toward the house, leaving the helicopter and the mess of the Easter party behind. They were finally going home. Really home. Michael carried Emma and Jacob through the back door into the house. He set them down gently in the living room. The house felt different now, quieter, lighter, like a heavy weight had been lifted. "Are you too hungry?" Michael asked. Emma nodded. "Yes, Daddy. We only had dry toast this morning." Michael's jaw tightened. He had watched that on the cameras, but he forced himself to smile. "Okay. What do you want to eat?" "Anything you want." "Anything?" Jacob asked. His eyes were wide. "Anything," Michael repeated. "Can we have pizza?" Emma asked. Her voice was small and hopeful, like she was afraid Michael would say no. "Of course we can have pizza. What kind do you want?" "Pepperoni," both twins said, at the same time. Michael pulled out his phone. He called their favorite pizza place in Beverly Hills. "Hi, I need 2 large pepperoni pizzas with extra cheese, and breadsticks, and a chocolate lava cake. Deliver to my address as soon as possible." He hung up and looked at his children. They were sitting on the couch holding their golden baskets. They looked tired and overwhelmed. "The pizza will be here in 30 minutes, Michael said. He sat on the couch between them. "While we wait, do you two want to watch a movie?" "Can we pick any movie we want?" Jacob asked. "Any movie you want." Emma and Jacob looked at each other. They were not used to being asked what they wanted. For 2 years, Rachel had decided everything. "Can we watch Moana?" Emma asked quietly. "Moana it is," Michael said. He turned on the television and found the movie. He pressed play. The three of them sat on the couch together. Michael put his arms around both children. Emma leaned her head on Michael's shoulder. Jacob leaned against Michael's other side. They watched the movie. Every few minutes, one of the twins would look up at Michael's face, like they were checking to make sure he was still there. Every time, Michael smiled at them. 30 minutes later, the doorbell rang. Michael got up and answered it. The pizza delivery man handed him 2 large boxes and a bag with breadsticks and dessert. "Thank you," Michael said. He gave the man a $100 bill. "Keep the change." The man's eyes went wide. "Thank you, sir. Have a great day." Michael brought the food to the living room. He set everything on the coffee table. "Okay, we're having a pizza party on the couch. No plates, no rules, just us." Emma giggled. "Really? We can eat on the couch?" "Really." They ate pizza and breadsticks while watching Moana. Emma ate 3 slices, Jacob ate 4, Michael ate 2. They were all so full. Then they shared the chocolate lava cake. It was warm and delicious. Emma got chocolate on her face. Michael wiped it off with a napkin and smiled. When the movie ended, it was 6 o'clock in the evening. The sun was starting to set. Michael stood up. "Come with me," Michael said. "I have something to show you." "What is it?" Jacob asked. "You'll see. It's a surprise." Michael led them upstairs. But instead of going to the basement stairs, he walked down the main hallway. He stopped in front of 2 large doors. These were the biggest bedrooms in the mansion, the rooms that used to belong to Brandon and Sophia. Michael opened the first door. Inside was an enormous bedroom. It had a king-size bed with a white comforter. It had a huge window that faced the ocean. The sun was setting over the water, painting the sky pink and orange. The room had a walk-in closet and a private bathroom with a big white bathtub. "Emma, this is your new room," Michael said. Emma's mouth fell open. "My room? This big room?" "Yes, this is yours now." Emma walked inside slowly. She touched the bed. She walked to the window and looked out at the ocean. Tears filled her eyes. "This is really mine?" "Really yours," Michael said. He knelt down next to her. "You will never sleep in the basement again. This is your room, and we can decorate it however you want. You can pick new furniture, new paint, new everything." Emma hugged her father so tight. "Thank you, Daddy. Thank you so much." Michael opened the second door. The room was just as big. It also had a king-size bed and a window facing the ocean. It had the same walk-in closet and private bathroom. "Jacob, this is your room," Michael said. Jacob walked inside. He looked around with wide eyes. "This is the biggest room I've ever seen." "It's yours. We'll set up your PlayStation in here. We'll get you new furniture. Whatever you want, sports posters, a new desk, anything." Jacob turned to his father. "Dad, are you going to leave again? For work? For business trips?" Michael sat on the edge of the bed. He patted the space next to him. Jacob sat down. "Jacob, I'm going to work much less now," Michael said. "I'm going to hire people to run the company so I can be home with you and Emma. You two are more important than any business meeting. You are more important than any amount of money. I should have done this a long time ago, but I'm doing it now." Jacob's eyes filled with tears. "You promise?" "I promise. I'm here now. I'm staying." Jacob hugged his father tight. Michael held him and stroked his hair. That night, Michael helped Emma and Jacob move their few belongings from the basement rooms to their new bedrooms. They did not have much. A few clothes, a few books, some small toys. Everything fit in 2 boxes. It made Michael's heart hurt to see how little they had. "Tomorrow we're going shopping," Michael said. "We're going to fill these rooms with everything you want and need." At 9 o'clock, Michael helped both children get ready for bed. He tucked Emma into her big new bed. The bed was so big that she looked tiny in it. "Are you comfortable?" Michael asked. "Yes," Emma said. "But Daddy, can you stay for a little bit?" "Of course I can." Michael sat onto the edge of Emma's bed. He held her hand. "Do you want me to read you a story?" Emma nodded. Michael found a book on the shelf. It was a book about a little girl who went on an adventure. Michael read the whole story. By the end, Emma's eyes were closing. "Daddy?" Emma whispered. "Yes, sweetheart?" "Will you be here when I wake up?" Michael's throat felt tight. "Yes. I will be right down the hall, and I'm not going anywhere." "Promise?" "I promise." Emma fell asleep. Michael kissed her forehead. He turned on a small nightlight and left the door open just a crack. Michael went to Jacob's room next. Jacob was lying in bed, but he was not asleep. He was staring at the ceiling. "Can't sleep?" Michael asked. "I keep thinking about everything that happened today," Jacob said. Michael sat on Jacob's bed. "It was a big day. A lot happened." "Is Rachel really never coming back?" "Never. She's gone from our lives." "Good," Jacob said. His voice was hard. "I hated her. I still hate her." "That's okay," Michael said. "You're allowed to feel angry. She hurt you. But we're going to get through this together. I'm going to find someone for you and Emma to talk to. A therapist. Someone who can help you both work through your feelings." "A therapist? Like a doctor?" "Kind of. A doctor for feelings. Someone who will listen and help you feel better." Jacob nodded. "Okay." Michael kissed Jacob's forehead. "Get some sleep, buddy. I love you." "Love you too, Dad." Michael went to his own bedroom. He sat on his bed and pulled out his phone. He had several missed calls from David Chen. He called David back. "Michael, I've been trying to reach you. How did it go?" David asked. "She's gone. She left. It's over." "Did she sign anything?" "Not yet, but she will. I made it very clear what will happen if she fights me." "Good. I'll send the official papers tomorrow. We'll make this quick and clean." "Thank you, David, for everything." "You did the right thing, Michael. Those kids are safe now." Michael hung up. He got ready for bed. But he did not sleep well. He kept waking up every hour. Each time he woke up, he checked on Emma and Jacob. He walked quietly to their rooms and looked inside. They were both sleeping. 3 days later, Michael made several important phone calls. The first call was to a therapist his friend had recommended. Her name was Dr. Patricia Williams. She had an office in Beverly Hills. She specialized in helping children who had experienced trauma. "Dr. Williams, my name is Michael Harrison. I need help for my 6-year-old twins. They've been through some very difficult things. They need someone to talk to." "I understand, Mr. Harrison. Can you tell me briefly what happened?" Michael explained everything. The abuse, the neglect, the way Rachel had treated them. Dr. Williams listened quietly. "I can see them twice a week," Dr. Williams said. "Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Does that work?" "Yes, that's perfect. Thank you." Michael's second call was to a nanny agency in Los Angeles. He needed help taking care of Emma and Jacob when he had to work. "I need 2 nannies," Michael told the agency. "I need kind, patient people who love children. I need people who will treat my kids with respect and love." The agency sent 2 women for interviews the next day. Their names were Susan and Maria. Susan was a woman in her 50s with gray hair and a warm smile. Maria was younger, in her 30s, with kind brown eyes. Michael interviewed them both. He asked them many questions. He watched how they interacted with Emma and Jacob. Both women were gentle and sweet. Emma and Jacob liked them both. "You're both hired," Michael said. The third thing Michael did was enroll Emma and Jacob in a new school. Their old school had too many memories of Rachel. Too many times when Rachel had embarrassed them or been mean to them in front of other kids. Michael found a smaller private school in Beverly Hills called Sunshine Academy. It had small classes and kind teachers. Michael took Emma and Jacob to meet the principal, Mrs. Rodriguez. She was a short woman with black hair and a friendly smile. "Welcome to Sunshine Academy," Mrs. Rodriguez said to the twins. "We're so happy to have you here." Emma held Michael's hand tight. She looked nervous. Jacob stood close to his father. "Can I show you your new classrooms?" Mrs. Rodriguez asked. Emma and Jacob nodded. They followed Mrs. Rodriguez through the bright, colorful hallways. Their new classrooms had big windows and cheerful decorations. The teachers seemed nice. On the first day of school, Michael walked Emma and Jacob to their classrooms. He knelt down in front of them. "I will be here to pick you up at 3 o'clock, Michael said. "I promise. I'll be waiting right outside." "Promise?" Emma asked. "Promise," Michael said. At 3 o'clock, Michael was standing outside the school, right on time. When Emma and Jacob came out, they smiled big when they saw him. "You came," Emma said. "I told you I would," Michael said. "I always keep my promises now." Every day after that, Michael picked them up at 3 o'clock. He never missed a single day. 3 months passed. Life was very different now. Michael kept his promise. He was home every day. He worked from his home office most of the time. He only went to his company building in downtown Los Angeles twice a week. The rest of the time, he stayed home with Emma and Jacob. Every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon, Michael drove Emma and Jacob to Dr. Patricia Williams's office in Beverly Hills. The office was in a small building on Beverly Drive. It had a waiting room with comfortable chairs and toys. The walls were painted light blue. Everything felt calm and safe. On their first visit, Emma had been very nervous. She held Michael's hand tight as they walked inside. Dr. Williams came out to greet them. She was a black woman in her 40s with short hair and warm brown eyes. She wore glasses and a kind smile. "Hello, Emma." "Hello, Jacob," Dr. Williams said. Her voice was soft and gentle. "I'm so happy to meet you both." Emma hid behind Michael's leg. Jacob stood with his arms crossed. He looked at the floor. "It's okay to be nervous," Dr. Williams said. "This is a safe place. We're just going to talk. You can talk about anything you want. And if you don't want to talk, that's okay too. We can draw or play games." After 3 months of therapy, Emma and Jacob were much more comfortable with Dr. Williams. They looked forward to their appointments now. Emma especially loved the art therapy. Dr. Williams gave Emma big sheets of paper and crayons and markers. "Draw how you feel today," Dr. Williams would say. Emma would draw pictures. Sometimes she drew dark clouds and rain. Sometimes she drew sunshine and flowers. Dr. Williams would ask Emma to explain her drawings. Slowly, Emma learned to talk about her feelings instead of keeping them inside. One Tuesday afternoon, Emma drew a picture of herself. In the picture, Emma was very small. She was standing alone in a dark room. "Tell me about this picture," Dr. Williams said. "This is how I felt when Rachel was here," Emma said quietly. "I felt very small. I felt like I was bad, like something was wrong with me." "And what do you know now?" Dr. Williams asked. Emma thought for a moment. "I know Rachel was wrong. I wasn't bad. She was the one who was bad. That's exactly right, Dr. Williams said. She smiled. You were never bad, Emma. You are kind and lovable exactly as you are. Rachel's cruelty was not your fault. Emma's eyes filled with tears. But I still feel bad sometimes. Sometimes I still feel like it was my fault. That's normal, Dr. Williams said. Healing takes time. But every day you're getting stronger. Every day you're learning the truth about yourself. Jacob's therapy sessions were different. Jacob did not like to sit still. He did not like to draw. So Dr. Williams let him move around. She had a punching bag in her office. Jacob would punch it while they talked. I'm still so angry, Jacob said one day. He punched the bag hard. I hate Rachel. I hate what she did to us. It's okay to be angry, Dr. Williams said. Rachel hurt you. Your anger is real and it's valid. But Jacob, holding on to anger for too long hurts you, not her. We need to find ways to let it go. Why should I let it go? Jacob punched the bag again. She was terrible to us. She deserves to feel bad. You're right. She does deserve consequences. And she got them. She lost her home. She lost her marriage. She lost everything. But you holding on to anger doesn't hurt her. It only hurts you. Letting go isn't about forgiving her. It's about giving yourself peace. Jacob stopped punching. He sat down on the floor. I don't know how to let it go. We'll work on it together, Dr. Williams said, little by little, day by day. Michael also went to therapy. He had his own therapist, a man named Dr. Robert Chen. Michael met with Dr. Chen once a week. Michael had a lot of guilt to work through. I should have seen it, Michael said during one session. He put his head in his hands. I should have known what was happening in my own house. What kind of father am I? You're a father who made a mistake, Dr. Chen said, but you're also a father who fixed it. You protected your children when you finally saw the truth. You can't change the past, but you can control what you do now. And right now, you're doing everything right. But they suffered for 2 years. 2 years of my children being abused. And I didn't see it. Michael, abusers are very good at hiding who they really are. Rachel was careful. She only showed her true self when you weren't around. You can't blame yourself for her deception. Michael nodded, but the guilt still weighed heavy on his heart. At the end of June, the divorce was finalized. David Chen handled everything. Rachel signed all the papers without fighting. She knew Michael had all the video evidence. She knew she could not win. Michael got full custody of Emma and Jacob. Rachel got nothing except her personal belongings and her car. She moved to Orange County to live with her sister. She took Brandon and Sophia with her. Michael never saw her again. In July, Michael made a big decision. He decided to sell his company. A large technology corporation from San Francisco had been wanting to buy his company for years. They offered $50 million. Michael said yes. His employees were shocked. His business partners were confused. But Michael did not care. The company had taken him away from his children. The company had made him work 80 hours a week. The company had been more important than his family. Not anymore. Are you sure about this? David asked when Michael told him. I'm sure, Michael said. I built that company from nothing. I'm proud of it. But Emma and Jacob are more important. They need me home. I need to be home. What will you do instead? Michael had been thinking about this for weeks. I'm going to start a foundation that helps children in situations like Emma and Jacob were in. Children who are being abused at home but are too scared to speak up. I want to provide therapy, legal help, and safe housing. I want to turn our pain into something that helps others. David smiled. That's a great idea, Michael. Really wide. Michael called the foundation Emma and Jacob's Promise. He hired a team of social workers, lawyers, and therapists. He rented an office building in downtown Los Angeles. He put all his energy into the foundation. Within 3 months, the foundation had helped 25 families. Michael met with each family personally. He listened to their stories. He saw his own children in their scared faces. It broke his heart, but it also gave him purpose. One day, a 7-year-old girl named Lily came to the foundation with her mother. Lily's stepfather had been hurting her, yelling at her, hitting her. Lily's mother finally found the courage to leave him, but she had no money and no place to go. Michael sat down with them in his office. Lily sat in her mother's lap. She would not look at Michael. She was too scared. "Lily, my name is Michael," he said gently. "I have 2 children just like you. Their names are Emma and Jacob. Someone was very mean to them for a long time. But they're safe now, and we're going to make sure you're safe too." Lily looked up at him with big brown eyes. "Promise?" "I promise." The foundation paid for Lily and her mother to stay in a safe apartment. They paid for Lily's therapy. They connected Lily's mother with a lawyer who helped her get a restraining order against the stepfather. 6 months later, Lily and her mother were safe and healing. Lily's mother wrote Michael a letter. "Thank you for saving our lives. Because of you, my daughter is smiling again. She's laughing again. We have hope now. Thank you." Michael framed the letter and hung it in his office. It reminded him why he was doing this work. At home, Emma and Jacob were slowly getting better. Emma smiled more often now. She made friends at her new school. Her best friend was a girl named Maya. Maya loved art just like Emma. They had playdates at Michael's mansion. They painted pictures together. They built fairy houses in the garden. Emma's confidence grew every day. Jacob joined a soccer team. Michael signed him up for the Beverly Hills Youth Soccer League. Michael became the assistant coach. Every Saturday morning, they went to practice together. Jacob was fast and strong. He scored many goals. His teammates cheered for him. Jacob made a best friend named Marcus. Marcus lived with his single dad because his mom had left when Marcus was little. Jacob and Marcus understood each other, but healing was not a straight line. There were bad days, too. One afternoon in September, Michael took Emma and Jacob to the grocery store in Beverly Hills. They were walking down the produce aisle when Emma suddenly froze. She grabbed Michael's hand so tight it hurt. Her breathing became fast and shallow. "Emma? What's wrong?" Michael asked. Emma was staring at a woman near the apples. The woman had blonde hair and was wearing a white dress. From behind, she looked a little bit like Rachel. "Is that her?" Emma whispered. Her whole body was shaking. "Is Rachel here?" Michael looked at the woman. "No, sweetheart. That's not her. That's someone else." "Are you sure?" "I'm sure. Look at me, Emma. Look at my eyes." Emma looked at Michael. Her eyes were full of fear. "You're safe," Michael said. "I'm here. Rachel is not here. She will never be here. I promise you." Emma nodded, but she kept shaking. Michael picked her up, even though she was getting too big to carry. He held her close and whispered, "You're okay. You're safe. I've got you." That night, Emma had a nightmare. Michael was asleep in his bedroom when he heard screaming. He jumped out of bed and ran down the hall. Emma was sitting up in her bed, crying and shaking. "No, please, I'll be good. I promise I'll be good," Emma was screaming. Michael ran to her and wrapped his arms around her. "Emma, wake up. It's just a dream. You're safe. I'm here." Emma woke up. She looked around the room, confused and scared. Then she saw her father and started crying harder. "I dreamed Rachel came back," Emma sobbed. "She locked me in the basement again. She said I was bad. She said you didn't want me anymore." Michael's heart broke. He held Emma tight and rocked her back and forth. "That will never happen. Rachel is gone. You're not bad. You were never bad. And I will always want you. Always. Michael started singing a song. It was a song Lisa used to sing to the twins when they were babies. Slowly, Emma calmed down. Her breathing slowed. Her body relaxed. But Michael did not leave. He stayed in Emma's room all night. He sat in the chair next to her bed and watched her sleep. When the sun came up, Michael was still sitting in the chair next to Emma's bed. His neck hurt from sleeping in a strange position. His back was stiff. But he did not care. Emma was safe. That was all that mattered. 6 months had passed since Easter Sunday. It was now October. The air in Beverly Hills was getting cooler. The leaves on the trees were starting to turn yellow and orange. Life had changed so much in those 6 months. Every morning now started the same way. Michael woke up at 7 o'clock. He went to Emma's room first and opened the door quietly. Emma was usually still asleep. Michael kissed her forehead gently. Then he went to Jacob's room and did the same thing. Some mornings the twins were already awake and waiting for him. By 7:30, all 3 of them were in the kitchen making breakfast together. Michael learned how to make pancakes from scratch. Emma liked to help pour the batter into the pan. Jacob liked to flip the pancakes with the spatula. They made eggs and bacon, too. Sometimes they made oatmeal with honey and berries. They ate breakfast together at the kitchen table. They talked about what they would do that day. They talked about school. They talked about their friends. They laughed. The kitchen was filled with warmth and love now. It did not feel cold and scary anymore. At 8:15, Michael drove Emma and Jacob to Sunshine Academy. He walked them to their classrooms every single morning. He kissed them goodbye and said the same thing every day. I love you. Have a great day. I'll be here at 3. And Michael was always there at 3 o'clock. Every single day. He never missed. Not once. When Emma and Jacob came out of school, Michael was standing by his car waiting. Emma would run to him and hug him. Jacob would give him a high five. Then they would all drive home together. Some afternoons, they went to the park. There was a big park near their house with swings and slides. Emma loved the swings. Michael would push her and she would laugh and say, "Higher, Daddy, higher." Jacob loved the climbing wall. He would race other kids to the top. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, they went to therapy with Dr. Patricia Williams. The sessions were getting easier. Emma talked more openly now. She was learning that her feelings were valid and important. Jacob was learning to control his anger better. He was learning that being strong did not mean holding everything inside. On Saturdays, Michael coached Jacob's soccer team. The team was called the Beverly Hills Lions. They wore blue jerseys with a lion on the front. Jacob was one of the best players. He was fast and had good control of the ball. Michael loved watching Jacob play. Jacob's whole face would light up when he scored a goal. His teammates would cheer and hug him. Jacob was happy, really happy. Emma did not like soccer, but she found something else she loved. Michael signed her up for an art class at a community center in Beverly Hills. The class met every Saturday afternoon while Jacob had soccer practice. Emma's teacher was a woman named Miss Angela. She taught the kids how to paint with watercolors and draw with charcoal. Emma was very talented. Her drawings were beautiful. One Saturday, Emma brought home a painting she made in class. It was a painting of 3 people holding hands, a tall man and 2 small children. The sun was shining above them. Everything was bright yellow and orange and pink. "This is us," Emma said. She showed the painting to Michael. "This is you and me and Jacob. We're happy now." Michael's eyes filled with tears. He hugged Emma tight. "This is beautiful, sweetheart. Can we frame it and hang it in the living room?" "Really?" Emma's face lit up. "Really?" Michael took the painting to a frame shop the next day. He had it professionally framed in a gold frame. He hung it above the fireplace in the living room. Every time he looked at it, his heart felt full. Emma made a best friend in her art class. Her name was Maya. Maya had brown skin and long black braids. She was 7 years old, 1 year older than Emma. Maya and Emma sat next to each other in class every week. They painted pictures together and talked about their favorite things. One day, Maya's mother asked if Emma could come to their house for a play date. Michael said yes. He drove Emma to Maya's house in Santa Monica. It was a small house with a blue door and flowers in the front yard. Maya's mother, Mrs. Johnson, greeted them with a big smile. "Hello, you must be Emma," Mrs. Johnson said. "Maya has told me so much about you." Emma smiled shyly. "Hi. And you must be Mr. Harrison," Mrs. Johnson said to Michael. "Please come in. Would you like some coffee?" Michael stayed for coffee while Emma and Maya played upstairs. Mrs. Johnson was kind and easy to talk to. She told Michael about her family. She was a single mother, too. Her husband had died in a car accident 3 years ago. "I know how hard it is to raise kids alone," Mrs. Johnson said. "If you ever need anything, please let me know. Maya and Emma are such good friends. I'm happy to help." "Thank you," Michael said. "That means a lot." From that day on, Emma and Maya had playdates every week. Sometimes at Maya's house, sometimes at Michael's mansion. The girls would paint pictures, build fairy houses in the garden, and play pretend games. Emma was laughing again. She was being a kid again. Jacob's best friend Marcus came over often too. Marcus lived with his dad in West Hollywood. Marcus's dad, Tony, worked as a firefighter. Tony was a big man with dark skin and a friendly smile. Michael and Tony became friends. Sometimes they would have coffee while the boys played. One afternoon, Tony told Michael his story. "Marcus's mom left when he was 2 years old," Tony said. "She just walked out one day and never came back. It was hard, really hard. For a long time I was angry, but I had to let it go for Marcus's sake. I had to focus on being the best dad I could be." "How did you let go of the anger?" Michael asked. "Therapy helped, and time, and focusing on what I could control. I couldn't control that she left, but I could control being present for my son. That's what I focused on." Michael nodded. Tony's words stayed with him. At the foundation, Michael met many children who reminded him of Emma and Jacob. One day, a 9-year-old boy named Daniel came in with his grandmother. Daniel's mother had died. His father was abusive. Daniel's grandmother got custody of him, but she did not have much money. She could not afford therapy for Daniel. She could not afford school supplies. She was struggling. Michael sat down with Daniel and his grandmother in his office. Daniel would not talk. He sat in the chair with his arms crossed and stared at the floor. Michael recognized that look. It was the same look Jacob used to have. "Daniel, I want to tell you something," Michael said. "I have 2 kids, a boy named Jacob, who is your age, a girl named Emma, who is a little younger. Someone was very mean to them. Someone hurt them. But they're safe now, and they're getting better every day. You're going to get better too. I promise." Daniel looked up at Michael. His eyes were filled with pain and distrust, but there was also a tiny bit of hope. The foundation paid for Daniel's therapy. They paid for his school supplies and clothes. They gave his grandmother money to help with rent and food. 6 weeks later, Daniel came back to visit Michael. He was smiling. He was talking. He looked like a different kid. "Thank you, Mr. Harrison," Daniel said. "You helped us so much. My grandma doesn't cry at night anymore, and I'm not so angry anymore." Michael knelt down and looked Daniel in the eyes. "You're going to be okay, Daniel. Keep working hard. Keep going to therapy. And remember, what happened to you was not your fault." Daniel nodded. He hugged Michael. Michael hugged him back. Every child the foundation helped reminded Michael why this work was so important. Every thank you letter he received reminded him that good could come from pain, that suffering did not have to be wasted. It could be turned into something meaningful. One evening in late October, Michael sat with Emma and Jacob in the living room. Michael had made a decision. It was a difficult decision, but he felt it was the right time. "I want to talk to you two about something," Michael said. Emma and Jacob looked at him. They looked worried. "Don't worry," Michael said quickly. "It's nothing bad, I promise. I just want to talk about your mom, about Lisa." Emma's eyes got wide. Jacob looked down at his hands. "I know we haven't talked about her much," Michael said. "It was too painful for me. I missed her so much that I avoided talking about her. But that was wrong. She was your mother. She loved you so much, and we should remember her together." Michael pulled out a photo album from the shelf. It was a thick album with a leather cover. Inside were hundreds of pictures of Lisa. Pictures of Lisa pregnant with the twins. Pictures of Lisa holding baby Emma and baby Jacob. Pictures of Lisa at the park with the twins. Pictures of Lisa smiling and laughing. Michael opened the album and set it on the coffee table. Emma and Jacob moved closer to look. Emma touched one of the pictures gently with her finger. "I remember this," Emma whispered. She pointed to a picture of Lisa reading a book to the twins. "I remember her reading to us." "She read to you every night," Michael said. His voice was thick with emotion. "She loved reading. She wanted you to love it too." Jacob looked at a picture of Lisa, pushing him on a swing. "She was nice," Jacob said quietly. "She was the nicest person I ever knew," Michael said. "She was kind and patient and loving, and she loved you too more than anything in the world." "Do you miss her, Daddy?" Emma asked. "Every single day," Michael said. Tears ran down his face. "Every single day I miss her. But I also feel grateful that I got to know her. And I feel grateful that she gave me you two. You are the best parts of her." They looked through the photo album together. Michael told stories about each picture. Emma and Jacob laughed at some stories and cried at others. It was bittersweet, but healing. "Can we visit her grave?" Jacob asked. Michael was surprised. "You want to?" "Yes," Jacob said. "I want to tell her things." "Me too," Emma said. "Okay," Michael said. "We'll go this weekend." On Saturday morning, Michael drove Emma and Jacob to Forest Lawn Cemetery in Los Angeles. The cemetery was large and peaceful. Tall trees provided shade. Green grass covered the hills. It was a beautiful place, but also a sad place. Michael parked the car near Lisa's grave. They all got out slowly. Emma was carrying a drawing she had made in art class. It was a picture of a woman with kind eyes and a warm smile. Jacob was carrying his soccer trophy from last week's game. His team had won first place. They walked together through the cemetery. Michael held Emma's hand. Jacob walked close beside him. When they reached Lisa's grave, all three of them stopped. The gravestone was simple. It said, "Lisa Marie Harrison, beloved wife and mother, forever in our hearts." Michael knelt down in front of the stone. Emma and Jacob knelt next to him. For a moment, nobody spoke. The only sound was the wind moving through the trees. "Hi, Lisa," Michael said. His voice was soft. "I brought our babies. Look how big they are now. Look how strong and beautiful they are." Tears ran down Michael's face, but he kept talking. "I'm so sorry I lost my way for a while. I'm so sorry I let someone hurt them. But I'm back now. I'm taking care of them the way you would have wanted. the way I should have been doing all along. Emma placed her drawing on the grass in front of the gravestone. Hi, Mommy. I made this picture for you. It's you. I tried to remember what you looked like. Daddy helped me. Jacob placed his trophy next to Emma's drawing. Hi, Mom. I'm playing soccer now. I'm really good at it. I scored 3 goals last week. I wish you could have seen it. They sat there quietly for a few minutes. Then Emma spoke again. Mommy, someone was really mean to us. Her name was Rachel. She said bad things to us. She made us feel like we were bad kids. But Daddy saved us. And now we're happy again. I have a best friend now, Jacob said. His name is Marcus. And Dad coaches my soccer team. And we live in a big house. And Dad is home all the time now. Everything is good now. Michael wrapped his arms around both children. Lisa, they're going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. I promise to take care of them. I promise to always be there. I love you. We all love you. They stayed at the grave for 20 more minutes. Then they walked back to the car. On the drive home, Emma said something that surprised Michael. Daddy, I feel lighter now. What do you mean? Michael asked. I don't know. I just feel better. Like something heavy went away. Jacob nodded. Me too. I'm glad we went. That night, all 3 of them slept better than they had in a long time. 1 year passed. It was now spring again. Easter Sunday was coming once more. But this year would be completely different. Michael woke up on Easter morning at 6 o'clock. He got dressed in casual clothes, jeans and a blue shirt. He went downstairs to the kitchen. He had prepared everything the night before. On the counter were 200 plastic Easter eggs, but these eggs were different from the ones Rachel had bought. These eggs were filled with love. Michael had spent hours filling each egg. Some eggs had candy. Some had small toys. But every single egg also had a note inside. Michael had written 200 notes. Each note said something positive. You are loved. You are brave. You are special. You are kind. You are strong. You make me proud. You are amazing. Michael took the basket of eggs and went outside. The sun was just starting to rise. The sky was pink and orange. Michael walked through the entire property. He hid eggs everywhere. In the garden, under bushes, by the pool, in the gazebo, on the patio, in the fountain, behind trees, everywhere. He hid eggs in the west garden and the east yard. Every part of the property had eggs. Nobody was excluded. Nothing was locked. When Michael finished, he went back inside. Emma and Jacob were just waking up. They came downstairs in their pajamas, rubbing their eyes. Good morning, Michael said. He hugged them both. Happy Easter. Happy Easter, Daddy, Emma said. Happy Easter, Dad, Jacob said. I have a surprise for you, Michael said. There are Easter eggs hidden all over the house and yard. Everywhere. Go find them. Emma and Jacob's faces lit up. They ran to get their baskets. Then they started searching. They ran through the house, laughing and shouting. They found eggs under couch cushions and behind curtains. They found eggs on the stairs and in the bathrooms. They ran outside and found eggs in the garden and by the pool. Every time they opened an egg, they read the note inside out loud. You are loved, Emma shouted. You are amazing, Jacob yelled. They collected the notes carefully. They saved every single one. After an hour, they had found all 200 eggs. Their baskets were overflowing. But more importantly, their hearts were full. They sat on the living room floor and spread out all the notes. 200 notes telling them they were good and loved and special. Can we keep these forever? Emma asked. Of course, Michael said. They're yours. After the egg hunt, the 3 of them made breakfast together. chocolate chip pancakes, just like they liked. They ate outside on the patio. The weather was perfect, sunny and warm with a light breeze. "This is the best Easter ever," Jacob said. "Really?" Michael asked. "Really," Jacob said. "Last Easter was the worst day ever, but this Easter is the best." Emma nodded. "I'm not sad anymore. I'm happy." Later that afternoon, Michael took Emma and Jacob to the foundation office. Emma and Jacob's promise was now helping over 75 families. The office was busy. Social workers and therapists moved through the halls. Phones rang. Families waited in the lobby for appointments. Michael wanted Emma and Jacob to see the work being done in their names. He wanted them to see that their pain had been turned into something good, something that helped others. In the lobby, a little girl was sitting with her mother. The girl was about 7 years old. She had red hair and freckles. She looked scared and sad. Michael recognized that look. Emma walked over to the little girl. She knelt down in front of her. "Hi, my name is Emma. What's your name?" The little girl looked up. "Sarah." "Sarah, are you scared?" Emma asked. Sarah nodded. "I was scared too," Emma said. Her voice was gentle and kind. "Someone was mean to me, really mean. But the people here helped me. They're going to help you too, I promise. It gets better. You're safe now." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. She reached out and hugged Emma. Emma hugged her back. Michael watched his daughter with pride. Emma had turned her pain into compassion. She was using her experience to help others. She was so strong. Jacob saw a boy sitting in the corner reading a book. The boy was about 8 years old, with brown skin and curly hair. He had a bruise on his arm. Jacob walked over and sat next to him. "Hey, I'm Jacob. Do you like soccer?" The boy looked up. "I don't know. I've never played." "You should try it. It's fun. It helps when you're angry or sad. You can run and kick the ball and it makes you feel better." The boy smiled a little. "Maybe I'll try it." "You should, and things are going to get better for you. I know they will, because they got better for me." Michael stood in the doorway watching his children. They were helping other kids. They were spreading hope. Michael felt overwhelming pride and gratitude. That evening, the three of them sat on the back patio. The sun was setting over the ocean. The sky was painted with purple and pink and orange. Emma leaned her head on Michael's shoulder. Jacob sat on Michael's other side. "I want to tell you both something," Michael said. "I learned so many things this past year. The most important thing I learned is this. Being present is the greatest gift I can give you. Not money, not a big house, not fancy toys, just being here, being with you, showing up every day." "We know, Daddy," Emma said. "You show up every day now." "And I always will," Michael said. "I will never make that mistake again. You two are the most important thing in my life, more important than any job or any amount of money. You are my everything." "We love you, Daddy," Emma said. "We love you, Dad," Jacob said. "I love you both more than you will ever know." They sat and watched the sun disappear below the horizon. Stars began to appear in the dark blue sky. The air was cool and peaceful. At 8 o'clock, Michael took Emma and Jacob inside. He helped them get ready for bed. He tucked Emma into her big, comfortable bed in her ocean view room. "Daddy, will you tell me a story?" Emma asked. "Of course." Michael sat on the edge of her bed. He told her a story about a brave princess who faced a dragon and won. Emma listened with wide eyes. By the end of the story, she was yawning. "Sweet dreams, my love," Michael said. He kissed her forehead. "Sweet dreams, Daddy." Michael went to Jacob's room. Jacob was already under his covers. "You okay, buddy?" Michael asked. "Yeah, I'm really good, Dad. Today was a great day." It was a great day. Dad? Yeah? Thank you for saving us. Thank you for choosing us. Michael's eyes filled with tears. You never have to thank me for that. I will always choose you. Always. Michael kissed Jacob's forehead. I love you. Love you too, Dad. Michael turned off the light and closed the door softly. He walked down the hall to his own room. He changed into his pajamas. Before getting into bed, he stopped at his dresser. There was a framed photo of Lisa there. Michael picked it up and looked at her smiling face. I kept my promise, Lisa, he whispered. They're safe. They're happy. We're going to be okay. Thank you for giving them to me. Thank you for loving us. I'll never forget you. Michael set the photo down gently. He got into bed and turned off the light. For the first time in years, Michael felt complete peace. No guilt, no worry, no fear, just peace. The mansion was quiet. In her room, Emma slept soundly with a smile on her face. In his room, Jacob slept peacefully with his soccer trophy on his nightstand. And in his room, Michael slept through the entire night without waking once. The sun would rise tomorrow over the mansion in Beverly Hills. Inside, a father and his 2 children would wake up safe and loved. They had been through darkness, but they found their way back to light. They had been broken, but they healed together. They were whole again, finally and completely whole. If you enjoyed today's video, I'm sure you'll love the next one. Don't waste time. Just click on the screen